welcome to day 6 of 100 days of making comics, and this video is actually going to be titled day 7 because day 6 was documented yesterday when I did Artcasters, which is actually tonight. So this is me from the past, just covering my progress that I made while recording Artcasters with Scott Strickland, which should be the last video right below this one on my channel. Anyhow, so 100 Days of Comics, the challenge was originally created by Kevin Cross. The challenge is to create a comic for 100 consecutive days for spending at least 30 minutes a day on your comic. And so my progress so far has been to pencil 2 panels, which is part of why I love doing Artcasters every week. I get a lot more done on my artwork than I usually would. Usually I'd call it a day after penciling 1 panel. So anyhow, I also managed to get in my workouts because I try to consistently do about 30 minutes of yoga a day and about 20-ish minutes of the rowing machine. So that, and I managed to get a t-shirt design, first draft of it, to a client for feedback, so I'll show you that as well. So yeah, on day 5 I had left it at this panel. Day 6, the character's rising and suddenly getting pushed outside of the panel. The panel border is going to break, and what I'm going to try to pencil tomorrow will be this big blank panel with hopefully a really detailed shot, and then the page will be finished on the penciling stage. So pretty cool. So yeah, so that's day 6. And then let me zoom in here so you guys can see. This is the t-shirt graphic that I did for a client. They wanted these portraits of these sailor women. I did a series of them last year. I guess they sold really well, so they've asked for another, and they wanted it toned in green with jellyfish. So it's basically a woman and her hair is kind of intertwining with these jellyfish. Some of the toning maybe will need to be cleaned up, but I went ahead and sent this to the client to see if this is close to what she wants. So yeah, t-shirt design for the week done as well. So that'll wrap it up for that day, and then I will cut to tomorrow so you guys can see my progress there. But I will say, feeling pretty accomplished and good. Had a really good experience on Artcasters. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties, so we just kind of cut out at the end and didn't get a chance to close it out. But it was still a really great conversation, and just a fun time and a good way to make art and talk about the process of creating comics. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so it's day 7 of 100 days of making comics. I'm gonna make this update really brief so that I can get this video updated as soon as possible. But today I worked all day, for a little over 8 hours at my current job as an art director, and then I commuted home. I got in my workouts, I did my yoga and my rowing machine, which is an exercise I try to do every day, and then I got in my 30 minutes of comics, which actually ended up being more akin to 2 hours. And I also went to my brother-in-law's birthday party. So it's been a super busy day, but I got a lot accomplished, and I need to get to sleep because I'm feeling it. If I don't go to sleep in an hour or two, I'm probably gonna be pretty burnt out tomorrow. So anyhow, let me show you where I'm at, and then I'll log out. So this is the panel that I penciled for day 7, and so I'm pretty stoked on it. I think the page came out pretty well. I do think the page flow is going to read pretty effectively this way, and then bring you here to this kind of creepy image of just floating, and I'm pretty happy with the results. So tomorrow I'll get going on inking, which is a whole other long process, but I'm going to enjoy this moment of some sense of completion for a second before moving forward. Okay. That was enough. Now on to inking tomorrow. Alright, so that'll do it for day 6 and 7 of 100 Days of Making Comics, and I will see you guys next week. I wanted to say thanks to those of you who've been commenting, subscribing. I've been seeing a lot of people on the hundreds page posting their progress too. So if you're out there and you're doing the 100 days challenge, stay at it, and I'll stay at it, and we'll all get through this together. Actually, really cool dude who has supported me since I started in vlogging, and actually goes all the way back to, I think, when I used to do a podcast called Big Illustration Party Time. Anyhow, so Marshall, I'll link to his show notes, but I'll link to him in the show notes. That's how tired I am. I'll link to his show notes. So he goes under Donkey Jaw Projects on YouTube, and you guys should check out his channel and subscribe to it because he's a cool dude, and also really ambitious, and just kind of getting in the trenches with all of us doing 100 days, and it's fun to see. It's nice to have some camaraderie and kind of get this thing going.